Sorry, I've g'day everyone. Sorry, I had our host playing twice, so apologies about that. I was just waiting for him to finish the second round. Alrighty, so thanks PHN for having me along. I know this is just a quick snack size presentation. So we'll crack on. If we could just go to my first slide. Good stuff. So, look, I've got a bunch of animations in these slides. I'll try not to chip at our slide advancer too often. So I guess just to provide a little bit of context, a tiny bit about Ethos Health, the business that I work for. So we're an allied health business. We employ physios, dietitians, exercise physiologists. We employ some nurses. And we deliver a range of allied health services to people in our community. We also deliver a range of services to organisations, and over the last 5 or 6 years, increasingly we're sort of augmenting some of those services with technology solutions that we develop in-house. So we've sort of grown to, we've got about 4 full-time tech staff now, which has brought its challenges and brought its opportunities, which I guess is a good background for what we're talking about today. So like I said, just a quick little snack size overview of a current project. Not a world beater, who knows, it might be a world beater or it might go in the bin, time will tell. So first little animation for me. So this particular project, yep, can we just pop forward a slide? There we go. So as with most challenges that come up in the lunchroom, this one was a bit of a complaint, I suppose, from a couple of clinicians in the lunchroom. And then next little move, overheard by, yep, so slide forward. Yep, overheard by a curious IT person who happened to be in the lunchroom. And, this is the advantage, I suppose, of having a tech department in-house and everyone sitting around the same table every single week. If we go forward one more time, that presented an opportunity which led us to where we were, which is this what we're calling Rexercise, a bit of a play on the shorthand for treatment concept, which we're testing in-house at the moment. So if we pop forward a slide and we just talk a little bit about the challenge, and this is not a challenge unique to physios, it's exercise physiologists, anyone who's prescribing exercises. So just go forward a slide for me. So the challenge, I suppose, is that historically, and I wish I could claim this as my own artwork, but I can't. Mine are probably even worse than this. Lots of stick figures, and that presents its own problems. So it's really inefficient. It looks, here we go, coming up in front of me now. It looks really unprofessional. Speaking of which, I forgot to turn my mobile onto silent. Sorry about that. So it looks really, it's inefficient. It looks really unprofessional. If we just go forward a click for me, and takes a whole lot of time. And none of us are trained artists. We're probably the opposite to artists because we're all pretty sciencey, and a lot of sciencey people aren't great with the visual arts. So next one for me. So the alternative, which has been out for quite some time, and just one more click forward for me, are commercially available exercise prescription software systems, but they've got their own challenges too. So again, they take time. You have this common frustration, and I think this is what the recurring whinge in the kitchen was about, was that the images and the instructions, they're just never quite right. They're never exactly the way that you want them. Patients often don't love them because the imagery looks nothing like the typical patient. The stock images are always people who are about 25 years old and, in tight gym wear. They don't necessarily look like your average older adult with osteoarthritis, for example. And also the costs really add up. If you've got 10 staff, it's a couple of $100 a month, $2.5 grand a year, for something that still takes time, that patients don't necessarily love, and causes ongoing clinician frustrations. So the workaround that I know lots of clinicians tend to use, if we just click forward twice for me, is that we'll just get the patient's mobile phone and we'll take photos or video of them on their mobile phone. And then they'll have their exercises still in their pocket, for want of a better expression. But again, there's kind of, it's on their camera roll. It's mixed in with all their other photos, and there's no link back to the clinician. So if we just click forward one more for me. So even our workaround's not that great. So I guess where we landed is that, and look, we have the benefit of having built up over years an established in-house tech team, and we're able to spin these things up fairly quickly. We actually built a simple, pretty low-code app that we're testing in the clinic at the moment that allows us to automate that process of clinician using patient's phone to keep all the images, so videos and images, instructions and details of exercise prescription within a dedicated app. The outcome of that, if we just click through the dot points that remain, the outcome of that obviously is that it removes a whole lot of clinician frustrations. Yes, it's cost us something to develop, but we're not paying as much on subscriptions, and there's an opportunity potentially to white label that and resell it down the track. It's more convenient for patients and for clinicians, just a couple more clicks. Patients like it because it's them. It's patient specific. We've certainly made plenty of mistakes. The key thing, I think, with any tech development is not aiming to get it perfect. And this is really, really challenging for us as health professionals, because the idea of dishing up something that's not quite right in the healthcare context is not something that sits particularly comfortably with any of us. I think the key is recognizing that if you set yourself a goal of perfection, it's probably just not going to happen. You don't want to let progress get in the way of perfection, or perfection get in the way of progress, I should say. So failed fast, had some patients, who are happy to be early adopters and guinea pigs, and provided us with valuable feedback. And I know I've got one or two more dot points to come there. As I said, progress over perfection. And I think where we're at the moment, we're still testing it, we're still using it. It's always a challenge, as previous speakers have alluded to, with respect to the adoption of yet another new technology in the clinic. I guess at the end of the day, this one is instead of using a commercially available platform. So it's not one more technology, it's just an alternate approach. And that's, look, in a nutshell, that's my 5-minute snapshot story. Any questions?